Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Mike. Welcome aboard my channel. If you're new here today, I'll be talking to you about the crying games of the narcissist. If you like this content, if you feel it's relatable or useful to you, if it resonates, please like, smash the thumbs up, comment down your thoughts and opinions and wisdom down below, and please subscribe. Thank you. It's very much appreciated. So let's get into it already. The crying games of the narcissist. When they actually, the narcissist has two ways of pity playing you when they cry. They can either concoct fake tears, or they can otherwise, cry over everything. They didn't get their way. And it's not the principle of, how they didn't get their way. It's the mere fact that, they expect to be entitled leeches, moochers, parasitic, little viruses. That's how I think of these narcissists. They're viruses. And you need to stay healthy and up to date with your health regarding the narcissist, okay? But seriously, I urge you all that don't let yourself be manipulated whenever you see or hear about, or maybe perhaps you're lurking on their social media. I can't tell you, but I strongly advise you to block, delete, and goodbye. If you don't even have social media, just don't check out their stuff. Because what's there to see a year or 2 or 5 years later? They're just the aging narcissist at that point, which I've done a video of. The narcissist can be 30, 60, 90, it doesn't matter. The narcissist only cares about themselves. They don't care who they have to hurt. They don't care who they have to wreck relationships with. The narcissist not only burns bridges, but they blow them up to no return. And that's exactly their scheme from day one. When they supposedly so-called loved you. I hate to rub this in, but this is just the God honest truth. The truth stings sometimes. But it's up to you. You're supposed to be laughing in their faces, like behind closed doors, because you have won. You have done something that the narcissist thought you would never be able to do. You've grown, hopefully, or at least you're in the process of it. You've healed, you've introspected, and you say no to the Hoover, and you block and delete any old flying monkeys, people associated with these people. They have no room in your life anymore. None. Zip. Zilch. Zero. Gonzo. Now, back to the crying games of the narcissist. They may, fake cry to you, or you can't, maybe, you might not be able to differentiate between real tears and fake tears over the phone. They say they're behind on resources, whether it be rent, groceries, stuff for the kids, blah, blah, blah. Or, it's real tears, but by the same token, they dug the hole or the ditch that they created. And it's not a help to them when they discard the very people who are trying to help them, not hurt them. The narcissists, they're notoriously known for biting the hand that feeds them. So, keep that advice in mind. Whether you're narcissistic or not, just remember, no one is coming to save us at the end of the day. We have to be our own best friends. And let the narcissist cry and let it out all they want behind, they don't matter to you anymore. It sounds cold and callous to say you don't care when someone's in desperation and tears and upset regarding anything. When they don't get their way, when they don't pass a test, when they don't get the job that they wanted, when they don't get a certain outcome of something, then they'll just take it out, perhaps on you at the time. If you were tethered to this narcissist, then they would just abuse you, use you, manipulate you, act, they put on a good tight fitting mask in the beginning, acting like they were your best friend, but they really weren't. They were checking up on you, taking tabs upon you, you know what I'm saying? To see what kind of a person you are. They can, they're very close-minded. They don't want to, have periodic discussions or meet in person, right? Like, or like to work it out, like, go over, okay, let's talk this out, adult to adult, whether it be through coffee or a bite to eat or something like that, or, reconciling with the family, maybe get someone like a therapist or a mutual friend and, and help. Not a flying monkey, but you tried, long story short. So this doesn't even apply to you. But you did all that you could. The narcissist still cries and cries and cries and whines and whines and whines. I don't feel apologetic about telling the God honest truth here, that they took you for granted. I'm sure that your soul was crushed. You were a shell of your former self at the time, whenever this happened. Whether you probably were discarded, but you probably saw it coming from a mile away. And then you blamed yourself later, you ruminated and once was, and you also asked yourself, well, what was it all for in the first place? The answer to that is that they don't see people, genuine human beings, as, genuine human beings. They only see them as supply, fuel, sources of supply. They treat you like a disposable object. They're nothing but toxic. They'll smoke you like a cigarette and they'll stomp on you and cast you aside as if you're some kind of litter. And this is what they do to every news source or every person that they come in contact with, and they tell the same sob story. Oh, I'm the black sheep of the family, or maybe they exaggerate, they grossly exaggerate. They say this person was narcissistically abusive to me, he's controlling, she's emotionally abusive. But come to find out, the one common denominator in that whole thing was the narcissist. Maybe, when they say that they were controlling, maybe they were mistaking, boundaries as controlling. That's a good idea to bring up here. I've done videos before, keeping the boundaries up high and mighty, right? And so the narcissist is no different. They want boundaries for them, but not for the rest of the world. Not you, not the new supply, not the old supply, not anyone in between, not their close-knit family. And you start to become desensitized to the narcissist, the flying monkeys in between, the mutual friends, so-called friends. Because they're most likely going to side with the narcissist and smear the campaign you or slander you in some way, shape, or form. But it's not your job to, make people think a certain way about you. People cannot like you just because of your nose or, maybe my sunglasses, or maybe, I don't know, in the environment I'm in. No one will be satisfied with anything, especially if they're a narcissist. This is the only kind of demonic creatures that I can think of that would not appreciate any such favors in life. So much wiggle room, so many chances to change, only for them to be stomped on like a crushed leaf, right? As I say, you're nothing to them, but you are something, and thus you must walk away. Don't fall for the crying games. And just don't feed into their emotional manipulation, because your logic and your reason, you're growing, you're healing, your introspection, you're processing, not ruminating. But at any rate, to continue on here, the narcissist can't do any of these things. And they never thought that you'd gain the wisdom, the knowledge, and anything in between to see past their BS, their fake lies, their denying. It's just a friend, it's just this, it's just that, it's just this, it's just that. It's always an excuse for the narcissist. Always an excuse. So when they cry when they don't get their way, that's on them, because they had that opportunity to. when you were with them, until they drained your resources, or perhaps when they started to not reciprocate anymore, and perhaps they never did. It's quite common for people to be immersed or show or have affection for people. Narcissists, not people, narcissistic creatures out there. You know, they want to see the good instead of the bad. They want the glass to be, you know, half full instead of half empty. And that's your empathic traits showing you, but your spidey senses were tingling. Your gut instinct was telling you something was wrong. The narcissist would just take you for granted, and as such, you know, perhaps they had emotional or mental breakdown both during and after that said relationship, and they just expected you to tidy up the whole mess. And perhaps you did put in a lot of effort. What do you want? A psychologist? Do you want like to talk, mend bridges with your family? What's going on? And nothing would be good enough. They just want to you know, they want to put on this pity play act. They want people to sympathize with them and validate their crying on whatever it is, TikTok or social media in general, you know, which is why I don't use those platforms. They're toxic. And don't use dating apps. You don't know what you're getting into these days in modern times. It's the truth. It goes for everybody in question. But on the plus side, you're in control of your whole life now, not the narcissist. You have processed things. You have not ruminated and once was, unlike the narcissist. They will always be, you know, they want closure for themselves, but not for you. They want boundaries for the, but not for, you know, you know how it goes. The cycle just continues around and around and around, and it never gets better. They don't respect your boundaries. That's why they would call you a million times one day, and then one day they'd go silent. Perhaps it was on your off day too, right? And the only times they blow you up is during inappropriate times, like when you were driving, or maybe when you were busy doing something, you were in a doctor's office, something like that. But yet they want someone to validate them. They want someone to not invalidate, excuse me, but to validate their so-called need to cry, instead of handling it like a mature adult. No one is given anything in this life for free. No one is entitled to, you know, live at the mercy of someone else, you know. If you don't like it, leave this page, or leave, you know, this place you call home. But the fact of the matter is, you're not appreciative. Your fake tears, your fake crying and boo-hoos, you know, you didn't care about, you know, the narcissist empath, which was you at the time. They didn't care about you when you were hurt. Maybe you were crying on the inside. You were numb to emotions. At least that's how I felt. You were absolutely numb. You've gone through this enough with family, with friends, with narcissists, maybe like a romantic partner, business. And as you grow older and wiser, you learn how to cope with these people in your own way. You can learn how to say no, finally. And you don't have to accept anyone's phone call for a string. That's the beauty in all this. Cast the narcissist aside, like the victim complex players that they are, instead of genuine survivors, genuine thrivers and warriors and such. They will never admit when they've gone wrong. You know, they will never admit in the past what they could have done differently. And thus their only instinct is to fight or flight. When they were fighting you, they would gaslight you, they would stonewall you, they would triangulate you, they would give you the silent treatment, they'd project, they'd blame shift, they'd make up lies about you, the smear campaign I'm referring to. But that's all over and done with now. Let the people believe the smears. But that's about it, guys. If you like this video, Please like, comment, and subscribe. I really hope that I made this message crystal clear, and this is helping somebody out there who really needs it. Don't fall prey to the narcissist, petulant, childish, mental breakdowns or emotional breakdowns, or what kind of breakdown they have, because they didn't give a damn about you when you were down on the ground, dead on the ground. You can't get up there. They didn't care. They left you high and dry. So what goes around comes around. So that's about it, guys. Please like again, comment, and subscribe. This is Mike signing out. See you guys later. Take care. Goodbye.